Hey Fab Fam, welcome back to Fabulosity for You, where we talk fashion, relationship, and celebrity tea with honesty and a little side eye. Today we're breaking down The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 15, Episode 15, titled Stranded Under the Tuscan Sun. And this episode officially confirmed that Cal and Dorit's friendship is hanging on by a designer thread. Hit like, subscribe, and comment while you watch, because this one we need to discuss. So, this episode picks up right after the chaos from episode 14. Feelings are hurt, alliances are shaky, and instead of clearing the air, the ladies decide to go sightseeing because nothing fixes communication issues like group excursions with unresolved resentment. Okay, so let's start with the messiest reveal. Amanda finds out that Erica used ChatGPT to look her up. And Sutton, bless her heart, tells Amanda, yeah, that happened. Because imagine finding out your castmates didn't ask you questions, they asked the internet. Amanda feels like this was a mean-spirited, and honestly, I get it. There's a difference between curiosity and investigation. She basically says, if y'all trying to build scam narratives, where's the scam? If you have questions about someone's work, ask them directly. Because once you start Googling people behind their back, trust leaves the chat. Sutton tells Amanda she's on her side, but also admits she probably didn't speak up enough. Sutton is the friend who wants peace, but sometimes peace requires volume. Now let's get to the real heart of the episode. Cal and Erica try to have private conversation with Dorit, and Dorit feels ambushed. They bring up Dorit being late, distracted, always on her phone, and Dorit is immediately defensive. She says the conversation didn't feel gentle or conversational. It felt like a setup. And when Dorit feels ganged up on, she does what Dorit does best. And you know what that is. Yes, Dorit leaves Cal and Erica behind in a quiet Italian town. That wasn't just a walk-off. That was a statement. Cal and Erica are literally waiting around, confused while Dorit chooses peace via car service. She keeps saying she's worried about Dorit, but Dorit's issue is, this is why are you worried to everyone but me? At dinner, things finally explodes. Cal snaps and tells Dorit to stop riding her ass all of the time, honey. I almost fell out. Dorit fires back that Cal has been talking about her to everyone. What's the common denominator? It's Cal. This isn't about lateness. This is about trust. Erica jumps in and says Dorit is defensive and not punctual, but also acknowledges she's going through a tough time. Erica isn't wrong, but timing matters, and this was not the moment. Now, episode 15 made one thing very clear. Cal and Dorit are speaking two different emotional languages. Cal says concern, Dorit hears judgment. Dorit says hurt, and Cal hears deflection. And Amanda, she's realizing that being new in the group means you're always one rumor away from being investigated. Okay, so I just feel like this. Cal should not be going around to everybody talking about Dorit. Especially when she never talked to Dorit about it. And even though we know Dorit gets very offensive with Kyle, She still should have brought it to her as her friend. If she wanted to snap off, if she was saying you're coming from the bad place, well, honey, girl, I told you, period. So you can't say I didn't come to you. And then she can say, and everybody else is talking about you. Now, Bose and Rachel were pretty upset with Cal because when she came back to the house and they came back from their excursion, the other girls went to squash grapes at the winery. Again, Kyle is gossiping. Kyle, as soon as everybody sat down, oh, Dorit left us and we don't know where she is, and she just wasn't ready to accept what we were saying. And I told her that Bose, you said the same thing, and Rachel, you said the same thing, and everybody has said the same thing, and she is acting kind of scattered and all over the place. I told her, I'm not the only person, excuse me, my camera almost fell. I'm not the only person that is saying this. And so, Bose and Rachel are like, I don't understand why I'm being brought into this. Bose was like, I don't appreciate her bringing me into their mess. And Rachel was like, whatever I had to say, and I did say about her being late, I don't like it. It is rude. But at the end of the day, I told her in her face. Now, as far as her acting like she's scattered and all of that, I don't know anything about that. I don't believe she's like that. I've only known her for 2 months. And so I don't know her to be all of what she's saying. And so basically they felt like Cal was wrong for throwing their names in the conversation. Now Bose felt like, I understand why she's doing it. She did it because she wants to have a big impact to Dorit. Well, Dorit understands that, hey, everybody is saying this, and maybe she'll get it. But sometimes when Rachel said sometimes, and then Rachel was like, sometimes when you just put everybody into it, people feel ganged up on. And that just wasn't the right way to go about it. I just feel like Cal really is not coming from a good place, because at the end of the day, if you can't walk up to her and say it, then you shouldn't be going around to everybody. I didn't see nobody else except she got Erica on her side. Erica is her mouthpiece. Erica is her menu. And she is the only one, her and Erica are the only ones that have been talking about it. And Erica didn't go to Bose and go to Amanda and go to Kathy and go to Jennifer. She didn't do all of that, you know. So I just didn't think that was right of Kyle. I don't blame Dorit for feeling a little bit ambushed. I do think that Dorit is wrong for being late, but I don't think that she should be crucified. I think people should say, hey, girl, we're not going to wait on you no more. Okay, so this is the time. Either you're here or you're not going to be here. That's how I would handle it. I wouldn't just be every minute talking behind her back. I would let her know in her face and tell her, we're going to leave. We're going to leave. We'll see you when we see you, period. Okay, so that was pretty interesting. And you could tell it ended when Kyle was like, I'm sick of you riding my ass. That she was fed up on it. She had enough of Dorit talking, okay? So we're going to get into episode 16. Okay. So let me get this straight. Italy gave them wine, views, history, and they chose financial rumors and friendships, assassinations. Because episode 16 was not a dinner. It was an audit. Okay, so we're going to get right into this. This episode picks up mid-explosion from last week's dinner. No reset, no calm down, just vibes, and they're bad. Cal and Dorit are on the edge, honey. Erica is irritated. Bowles is involved, and the table is set for something that cannot be unsaid. Let's get into the moment that changed everything. Cal brings up that Bowles told Dorit may be in financial crisis, not just struggling, but that her name is allegedly on a house, the cars, and possibly the debt. Now, that's not checking on a friend. That's a headline. Dorit is understandably livid because why is her personal financial situation being discussed at a dinner table like it's a group project? Bowles does not deny saying it. She owns it, but frames it as concern she's already discussed privately with Dorit. Now, if you already talked to someone about something privately, bringing it up publicly changes the intent. Concern is quiet. Public concern is performative. Now, this is where the episode really cracks open. Dorit accuses Cal of talking about her to everyone instead of coming directly to her. She fires back and says Dorit hasn't apologized for leaving her and Erica stranded on the tarmac. And that's not calling her out. And she said, and that not calling her out was actually grace. Grace isn't something you announce after the fact. If you have to explain it, it didn't land. When Dorit questions whether she apologized, the rest of the women quietly confirmed she did not. They went around the table. No, you did not. No, you did not. And then Dorit tries to clean it up by apologizing again. This is the moment that made everyone uncomfortable. Dorit goes around to the table apologizing to everyone and skips Amanda, who is sitting directly in front of her. Cal immediately clocks it. Dorit says it was accidental and apologizes. But let's be honest. In a room that's tense, nothing is accidental. Erica finally jumps in and backs Cal. She points out Dorit's defensiveness and chronic lateness, but also acknowledges she's going through a lot. Two things can be true, but timing matters, and this was already nuclear. At this point, Erica and Dorit's friendship starts to visibly fracture. Dorit says in confessional, I feel like Cal is on a mission to make me look bad. And that is the thesis of episode 6. Now, let's get into this, okay? Let's really get into this. So, Erica jumps in the conversation, honey. And not only did she jump in the conversation, she was Erica Jane, baby. Because one thing I did like about Erica will get you told. Erica will get you straight. Okay? And so, she was going back and forth. Dorit was going back and forth with Cal. And she was like, she keeps saying the same thing. You didn't tell me. You didn't come to me. You went back to everybody and you did not come to me, and that was not right. It doesn't feel good about how you did that. And so, Cal, that's when Cal said, you know what? And honey, she was real. She got Dorit real together. Now I was with her on this. She said, you know what? I am sick and tired of you riding my ass. I'm sick and tired of you acting like I'm coming from a bad place. So let me just say this. Since you really feel like I'm coming from a bad place, I do not have your back. I am really not your friend. Let me tell you something. We don't have to be friends. Because I have friends that love me and I love them. I am trying to work out something with my husband, a relationship that with my husband, and we're going through a separation. You know, so the last thing I have time for is a friend that don't think I'm a friend. I'm not going to keep begging you, asking you. We don't have to be friends. And so everybody, I believe it was Bowles that said, do you really mean that? Do you really mean that? In this moment, I mean that. I mean it. So Dorit was like, do you really think that what you're saying is right? Do you really believe that? Do you? And so let me just say this. Erica was done with it. Erica had enough is enough. She did one of Cardi B's numbers. When enough is enough and enough is enough and enough is enough. She was like, listen, I done had enough, okay? You've been late. Where were you? Where were you before dinner? We've been waiting for you almost an hour and a half. Where were you? Where were you? And Dorit was like, I was with my children. I was talking with my children. Okay, so our children are not important. Your kids are more important than our kids. Because if you were talking to your children, how long does that take to check on your children? How long, Dorit? Because you could have told us, hey, I'm about to talk to my kid, give me 5. Not sit up and have us wait around on you. I'm sick of it. Who are you? Your kids aren't better than us. And so Dorit was looking all crazy. Dorit was like, okay. And so you just need to stop it. You need to stop it. I'm fucking sick and tired of it. I mean, she was snapping off. And so Dorit looked back and Dorit was like, you know, I forgot her actual line, but she was like, you know what? When I had talked to you about stepping up, I didn't mean for you to be a cunt. Honey, I was on my couch. I almost fell off my couch. And she said, I didn't mean for you to be a cunt. And honey, she had, the whole table was clutching their pearls, baby. They was clutching their pearls. Erica was looking stunned. But then she immediately came back with, I'm the one that brought cunt to the group. You're late. But I'm sorry. Dorit punched her with the cunt, baby. She punched her with the cunt. I almost fell off my chair, off my couch. So it was like, oh my God, everybody was stunned. And so she politely, and I think she called her a cunt back, okay? And she politely got up. So Erica said, oh, so now you're going to get up? You're going to get up? And she said, abso-fucking-lutely. She said, let me tell you something. When I left my husband and I found my voice, I said I would never let somebody do me wrong or talk to me wrong. And so I am not about to sit here and listen to your ass. And honey, she got up and she was like, oh, so you're leaving. She said, keep talking, bitch. I'm like, oh my God. I loved it. So the group was like absolutely stunned. And then somebody was like, well, should we go out there and get her? And they said, oh, we better let Kathy go. So they thought she wasn't going to give it to Kathy. So Kathy goes out there. And Dorit is like on fuming. And she was like, she said, listen, why don't you just come back in? She said, I am not coming back there. She said, well, you're going to end up having to come back, so you might as well. No, I don't have to end up coming back. I'm not going to be around people that talk to me crazy, that talk to me disrespectful. I am not that little Dorit that used to take it from Cal or anybody else. I'm not that girl. So guess what? I'm not coming back. And everybody was like looking stunned at the table. It was just like, oh my God. And let's get into this. Okay, so a lot of people started to be mad at Dorit. For a minute, I got mad because Kyle was telling the truth about some things as far as Dorit's time. Waiting an hour and a half and all of that is a long time. Now, behind the scenes, I saw on YouTube streets, Bravo, that I think her name is Crystal from the past season told everybody that Dorit is a chain smoker and they have to wait on her a long time while she smokes her cigarettes. And they weren't supposed to, Bravo didn't want them to ever mention it on film. But she mentioned it because she's no longer with Bravo. And so, with that being said, that is wrong. Now, Dorit has small children. Everybody else's children are older. I think Amanda has small children, but this isn't about Amanda. She just got here. But Cal, I believe, I think Sutton's kids, she has a son that, I'm sorry, I'm on a video. I'm on a video. And so Sutton's kid is in high school. And so Dorit has the small children. And when you're going through a divorce, yes, having small kids is a lot because they don't understand divorce and all of the things. They were out there parent, and it is more pressure and more heartbreaking when you have small children. And so yes, she does have to make sure her kids are okay. I do understand that. It is true. Dorit has I think her house is $6.5 million or something like that, and she owes a lot of money on her house where her house is being foreclosed on. Dorit don't have no money except for what she gets from Bravo, and just her clothes alone, she's not going to be able to live the lifestyle that she has. And her and PK has stopped paying a lot of bills. Because guess what? The bills are not in his name. And so it's really important, and that's a subject we can talk with a relationship conversation, is that when you are in a marriage, you need to know the finances in the marriage. You need to know what is being paid, how much it costs. Are you guys over your budget? Are you living beyond your means? All of that is very necessary. And she's just been blind in the marriage because she's was always been taken care of. And PK has always been, as I said before, has always been bad with money. Okay? So I believe all that spending is out of probably, she may be like a lot of us are shopaholics. And she's obviously depressed. And so that might be why she's shopping, but at the end of the day, it's nobody's business about her money, okay? And she told them at the table. You know, she told Kyle, oh, you worried about me buying a Kelly bag, but at the end of the day, if I used it from my book advance, that's really none of your business. Whatever's going on with my money and my finances, ain't nobody at this table business. And that's true. It's not. Nobody's bringing up Erica's problems. She's not talking about it. And that's what Kyle meant. I mean, that's what Dorit meant when she said, hey, when I told you to bring it, I didn't mean for you to be a cunt. I meant for you to step up. And what she meant by that is Erica really haven't had a storyline in the last couple of seasons, okay? I understand after the big thing about her husband, the season after that, she should have been quiet. Okay, but last season, they say she decorating a house that's not even her house, honey. All right, she said she bought it. She lied. She was renting it. So a lot of these girls having problems with money. Dorit is not the only one, okay? Cal not telling her business. Cal know doggone well that she with that country singer, and she is right now, she is a lesbian. And she's not admitting that she's in a relationship and in love with another woman. So she's not being honest. But everybody's coming down. Dorit is taking a hit. Dorit is taking the blows. And at the end of the day, that's Dorit is carrying the show. Because Cal not telling her business. She acting like her and her husband okay when he's sitting up running around with everybody, trying to date everybody, knowing damn well she embarrassed. She's sitting up, like I said, living with the country singer, saying they not together when they filming. So, I mean, girl, she not being real. Erica not talking about her business. She not bringing nothing to the table. Sutton, she had her time last year, so she got a right to be quiet this season. You know, so the heat is on Dorit. And at the end of the day, Dorit is going through a lot. And even though everybody got their problems, but everybody not talking about it. Dorit is talking about it. And so, at the end of the day, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. Last season, Sutton was a drunk. Sutton was being smart and talking flip to everybody. Sutton was very disrespectful to Dorit. I didn't see nobody come together and say to Dorit nothing. I mean, not Dorit, Sutton anything. Okay? Nobody said anything. And she was being real nasty. At least Dorit is not being nasty. Dorit is just defending herself. When Erica was going through all that stuff with her husband, Erica was sitting up being an asshole, saying every F-bomb to everybody, drunk, taking pills and being drunk. And then nobody say nothing. They tried to say something to her, though. They did. They tried to say something to her. But she wasn't listening either. So they all been through what Dorit has been through. So like Dorit said, can I have a break? Can I have some grace? And they like, well, the grace is we didn't say nothing to you at the time. Girl, bad. It's just real simple. It's not that serious. All they had to do was say, girl, if you're going to be late, we're going to leave you, okay? And leave them. And that's the end of it. Not going to everybody. Dorit is late. Dorit is going, it's scatterbrained. Dorit been in her purse for 10 minutes. Dorit is this. Dorit is that. Cal has changed. Cal has changed. Ever since her and her man split, Cal stopped drinking. Cal stopped having fun. Cal stopped being the party girl. So Dorit has changed and so has Cal. And sometimes when friends change, the dynamics of the relationship changes. I really believe that Dorit is right. Dorit knows, you know your friend. You know when they coming from a good place. You know when they being phony. You know all of that. And she says she is not being real. She's trying to have these girls gang up and turn against her. And that's exactly what she did. She went to each girl to turn them against Dorit. The two people she could not turn was Bose and Rachel. I didn't like the Bose set up and told the business to Cal. She shouldn't have done that. So Bose was wrong on that. Bose was doing a lot of talking. Bose was wrong on that. The girls were mad. Cal and Erica were mad because Dorit sat up and said that Bose is the only person that really came to her and was trying to be her friend. And is her true friend. And they went back to show all these clips of when Erica and Cal were all friends and helping her. And yeah, they used to be friends. And Cal said, yes, right now, Bose is my girl that I trust. I don't trust you, Cal. And it all goes back to the fact that Cal did not take Dorit's side in this divorce. She took PK's side. She was texting PK and being with PK and did not check on Dorit. So Dorit felt like, wow, she's not acting like she's my friend. It was revealed when they did the ambush on Dorit, that Cal was mad at Dorit for some seasons ago when she showed her text at the reunion to the world. And so now she on the get back. And Dorit had finally understood Cal is on the get back. And see, Cal helped get rid of Lisa Vanderpump. Cal wants to be the it girl. And not to say she's not the it girl, but Dorit to me has stepped up. She was always the dresser, and I loved her for that. But she now stepping up, taking care of herself, defending herself. And Cal used to be always the one trying to tell her what to do and talk down to her. And she has grown up. She has grown. When her husband left, she has decided to find her voice, and she said to the girls, and I'm going to keep my voice. I'm going to keep my voice. And so for that, kudos to Dorit. And that's what Erica Jane get, because at the end of the day, she shouldn't have jumped in it. She was being Cal's minion, and she got what she got. So the episode then cuts to Beverly Hills, where Rachel is preparing for a disco-themed birthday party. The scene isn't filler, it's a symbolic. It's the transition from Italy chaos to home base fallout. So Cal arrives visibly tense, scanning the room because she knows what's coming didn't stay overseas. So basically, that's how it ended. And I will say this, at the disco party, I loved Erica's outfit. She looked really nice. Very nice. And I really liked Jennifer Tilly. I liked her outfit and boots. It was cute. Everybody was looking cute. Dorit was looking cute. And when she came into the party, she saw Cal, Amanda, and Sutton, her little minions. That's what Dorit was like. Those are her minions. They were taking pictures, and she was like, oh my gosh, she just really wanted to not be at the party. And then she saw Bowles over there sitting on the couch talking with Erica. So she came over there. And so then Sutton comes and all the girls come over to the couch sitting. And Sutton says to Dorit, did you talk to Cal? And she was like, no, I just got here. Well, you should say something to Cal. You should tell her you're sorry. She was like, sorry for what? Sorry for not talking to her. So she was like, why the hell would I tell her that? Cal has not called me. I'm not telling nobody I'm sorry. So then Rachel comes over and she says, are you okay? Are you okay, Dorit? And she was like, well, somebody's sitting here trying to tell me I should talk to Cal, and what should I say? She was like, listen, girl, we're going to dance all night. Forget all of that. Do you need a drink? And she was like, yeah. And they got up, and Cal was looking all crazy. And I just love Rachel. Rachel is a girl's girl, and Rachel really, I just feel like Rachel feel like they some mean girls, and she feel like they just really need a break. And right now, they don't trust each other. If you don't have trust, then how you going to have a friendship? And I believe just that. So that's how it ended. So if you enjoyed this review, hit like. It helps the channel more than you know. Make sure you subscribe to Fabulosity for You for more fashion, relationship insight, and celebrity tea. And turn on your notifications so you don't miss the reunion breakdown. Until next time, stay fabulous, stay observant, and never let your friends discuss your finances at dinner. I'll see you in the next video.